The best U.S. cities to save money and live well. I see headlines like this all the time about the best places to retire on a fixed income, or most affordable cities in the US, or the best cities to live and make your dollar stretch, or the best places for families or for singles or whatever. While these headlines make it sound like their metrics will spell out the perfect utopia for you to live and thrive and retire or save money, the right place you call home is way too individualized for some generalized data and metrics to accurately predict nirvana for you. Now, we'll talk about these so-called perfect places and then explain why they are wrong and what you really need to look for in finding your personal bliss. In case you don't know already, I am Douglas Lucky Larson, and this is the Retire Early and Often channel. And I hope you will like and subscribe and watch more of our great content about current markets and exactly how you can retire early and often starting now. And as we often talk about, it's not really about the money, although that helps. It's about the whole package, the whole lifestyle, including time freedom, pursuing a real purpose, relationships that bring you true joy, build you up, and last a lifetime. How about this great quote from Bob Marley? Not somebody I quote very often, but he sure nailed it on this one. Money is numbers, and numbers never end. If it takes money to be happy, your search for happiness will never end. Bob Marley, you rock. So let's take a look at this list of cities that makes up the best places to save money or retire well or live in perfect bliss. Yeah, this is from an article in Kiplinger's that appeared to try to find a city in about every state. They list their metrics that they used down at the bottom of the article, and we'll go over that. But let's take a look at these. Oklahoma City, Fayetteville, Arkansas, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Green Bay, Wisconsin, Jackson, Mississippi, Augusta, Georgia, Des Moines, Iowa, Cheyenne, Wyoming, Manhattan, Kansas, Lafayette, Louisiana, Columbus, Ohio, Morgantown, West Virginia, Lexington, Kentucky, Huntsville, Alabama, Lincoln, Nebraska, Peoria, Illinois, Mankato, Minnesota, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Kansas City, Missouri, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Cape Coral, Florida, Richland, Washington, Provo, Utah, Phoenix, Arizona, Round Rock, Texas, Rochester, New York, Fargo, North Dakota, and Charlottesville, Virginia. There's a couple others, but we'll stop there. Now, wow, that's a lot of cities. How did they come up with this list of incredible places? The criteria from Kiplinger.com, a well-known source for financial and economic analysis, is right here. Let's take a look. Cost of living, including metropolitan and micropolitan statistical areas, includes overall costs like housing, food, groceries, transportation, utilities, healthcare, and miscellaneous expenses, about household incomes, poverty rates, and numbers of healthcare facilities, community well-being and physical well-being scores provided by ShareCare and Gallup, blah, blah, blah. Down here, population data, including percentage of population over this age and under this age as provided by the Census Bureau. And at the bottom, taxes, especially on retirees. Now, those are all great metrics, but here's another bit of the article. 67% of people say they'd move to a less expensive location to have a more financially comfortable lifestyle and retirement. Yeah, that's baloney, because if they would move, but they don't. Now, why are these kinds of articles totally lame? Why are these exact cities probably not the right cities for you? Because you are not a simple formula to be figured out. You are more than just a checklist. You are a human with years of relationships and experiences and phobias and preferences. You might be biased or even prejudiced. But if you really don't like country music and southern accents, well, you probably won't like rural Texas. If you can't stand traffic and crowds, you probably won't like big city urban life. Or at least it won't be an easy adjustment. If you've lived somewhere with lots of snow and ice in the winter and you hated it, well, sorry, but Minnesota and North Dakota are probably not going to be your favorite. Even if the people are super nice. I've been there. They are nice. Don't you know? But if you also absolutely can't stand mosquitoes and ants and cockroaches, well, Florida and Louisiana probably will not work out for you. What if you found out during the last 2 years, during a certain sickness, that your left leaning governor slash dictator loved lockdowns and also mandates requiring certain medications? Well, I am not a fan of those things, and I'd probably move. But some people prefer safety over freedom. And hey, you gotta do you. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't try new things. If you never try sushi, how would you know if you like it? If you've never been outside your state or even your county, it might be good to travel just a little bit to see what's out there. I have tried out lots of places for months or years at a time, including Colorado, right here in the middle, Minnesota, Wisconsin, even England. And I'm not talking about New England, I'm talking about real England. I spent most of my life where I grew up and was born and raised in Southern California, San Diego to be exact. And I spent quite a bit of time now in Utah and also Hawaii. I have visited at least 35 of the 50 states and about 20 different countries. Now, every place I have ever been has offered some great things and also some real frustrations. And I'm not just talking about strange food or weird customs. I'm sure to many other people, I eat weird food and have strange customs. I spent 10 years living in Hawaii, surfing and hiking and biking and snorkeling and scuba diving and hanging out on the beach and also spending time in the city, Honolulu and Waikiki. I absolutely loved it. But I saw a lot of haoles, mainlanders, who would come for a little while and get island fever. And after 6 months or maybe a year, they would move back to the mainland because perhaps they just couldn't get used to a more relaxed culture, a laid back schedule where not everything runs on a predictable timetable. Eventually, I moved back to the mainland because there are a few things that I just decided I couldn't live without, like relationships with my extended family and lifelong friends. Now, everybody says they're going to come visit you in a beautiful place like Hawaii, but life gets in the way. A few of my family members did come see me a couple of times, and a few friends as well, but not even once a year did I have visitors while I was out there. Now, I did make incredible friends in Hawaii, and I've been back many times since I sold my last house there on Maui in 2006, but I did move because, well, my parents were getting older on the mainland, and I had brothers and sisters, and nieces and nephews, and friends from my childhood scattered all around the western states, including California and Arizona and Washington and Utah, and I just wanted to be a part of their lives for birthdays and holidays and weddings and even sporting events. I'd spent, like I said, about 10 years total in Hawaii between Oahu and Maui, and it was amazing, but no place is without its flaws or frustrations. So keep these things in mind when you see articles or videos that tout the best places to retire or make your dollar stretch or whatever. Even if those places are the most romantic towns in Europe or an affordable tropical paradise like Panama or Costa Rica or Belize. Remember, no place is perfect and only you will know what's most important to you. Now, I made a video about a month ago about how you can retire early almost anywhere if you're willing to be flexible with your biggest expense, housing. I have lived in some very expensive real estate markets, but I've also been able to make ends meet there and even thrive financially in like Hawaii, as I mentioned before, and also San Diego, and also Park City, Utah. These are expensive places. But again, if you're creative, you can make it work. I made another video about retiring in a tiny house, and I will put the links to those videos down below on the last screen. Once again, you can live a great retire and early lifestyle, even now during crazy inflation and also wherever you might be. You just have to be creative. Don't let somebody else's list or criteria tell you what you're going to want or where you're going to thrive. I mean, Peoria, Illinois, Fargo, North Dakota. I don't want to make any enemies here, and that might work for you, but really? Because I like to give my viewers some actionable steps, I suggest the following. First, list on a piece of paper or in a digital document somewhere 5 of the most important relationships you have and ask yourself, are you spending time with those people? If not, how can you improve that? Next, list your 3 favorite activities, whether that's dinner with great friends, or hiking, or biking, or scuba diving, or surfing, or watching movies on your couch with popcorn and a partner. Are you doing these things? Why not? How can you do more? Next, give yourself a happiness score. How truly fulfilled are you on a scale from 1 to 10? And then list 2 things that can help you be a little more fulfilled, whether it's stronger relationships or finding a more meaningful career or getting in shape or spending more time in nature. Then do those things. What are you waiting for? Finally, be really honest with yourself. Do you actually need to move across town or across the country or out of the country to feel a little more fulfillment like you've outlined above? To create a little more happiness that you envision for yourself? Most of the time, people can find everything they need without going too far, whether it's mending family ties or getting back to spiritual and religious roots, or gaining skills and education that can help you find better work or even a broader and bigger purpose. Once you do this exercise truthfully and honestly with yourself, you will know much more about where you need to be and what you need to do than any article or checklist or algorithm can ever prescribe for you. Maybe moving to a different place is what you need, but no article from a financial or social expert is going to get that right for you. Hey, here's a couple of more videos to watch about how to retire early and often and focus on your real purpose. And please hit that like button and subscribe and share. And I hope that I see you again soon.